Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of At Katie Couric this Super Bowl Sunday. I recently had a chance to spend some time with Drew Brees, quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. We spoke about football, his charity work, and what the city of New Orleans means to him and his family. And as always, a big thank you to our sponsor, Dove. You're leading your team to its first Super Bowl in the history of the franchise. Most of the country is rooting for you. How are you feeling about this?
I'm excited. I can't wait. This is something that, 4 years ago we had a dream. We had a goal that we would be here at some point. We didn't know when, and we knew that it would be a lot of hard work and dedication and some ups and downs, fighting through adversity in order to get there. But here we are, having this opportunity to win a Super Bowl for the city of New Orleans and for the New Orleans Saints, and it's special.
How nervous are you going to be on Super Bowl Sunday, Drew? Be honest with me.
You know what? I'm always a little nervous before a game, always butterflies. I feel like the minute you lose that nervousness, it's probably time to get out, because I think with that nervousness comes the edge, and you can never lose the edge. And that edge is what keeps you locked in, it keeps you focused, and that's that will to win.
One player said you always say the right thing. And how do you know what to say?
Well, I think I have so many mentors in my life, coaches, teachers, people that I've just worked with in the past that I continue to talk to today that, there's times where I need advice and they're giving it to me. And it's usually the best advice at the best time. And then I'm able to relay that to my teammates or to guys when I can see them going through maybe the same thing that I was going through at one point. And I think so much about being a quarterback as well is that, there's 10 other guys in that huddle that, each one is motivated at times by different, in different ways. Some guys, all you have to do is just give them a look. Other guys, it's, might have to, yell at them a little bit. Other guys,
to the woodshed.
Each guy has their, a different, kind of trigger or button that you need to push in order to get, to get their best. And I think too, when you let people know how much you care about them, as well as how much you care about, in our case, the game and winning the game and being my best, and that I'm going to lay it on the line for them, they play for you.
A teacher told us that you've been teaching kids in New Orleans that anything is possible. And I just wondered, being responsible for the hopes and dreams of all these children, or feeling that they're looking to you for encouragement and inspiration, do you sometimes feel like that's too much pressure?
I don't. It actually is a source of strength for me. It really is. A responsibility. Just knowing that as the quarterback of this football team and as a member of this community, that I have the platform that I do to influence so many people in such a positive way. And in the end, I'm just being myself. I really am, but I also see the opportunity. I also embrace that responsibility to get out there and do as much as I can and to give back as much as I can. And the number one piece of advice I give to kids whenever I have a parent come up to me and say, my kid wants to be a professional athlete, or my kid wants to do this or that, what should I tell them? I say, tell them that they can accomplish anything they want in life. And don't let anyone ever tell them that they can't accomplish something that they're willing to work for. And that's the truth. We can all be whoever we want to be as long as we're willing to work for it. There's no mountain that's too high or any task that's too great.
No quarterback who's too short.
That too. Impossible. I'll never let those people get the best of me. I've heard that all my life.
You're very vocal in the pregame breakdown, and you take a very big role in that, which is kind of unusual, isn't it, for a quarterback? You don't see Tom Brady doing that or some other quarterbacks who are well known. You're kind of the cheerleader.
You're right. That usually is something that's kind of reserved for a linebacker or a D lineman, or one of these guys that's out there butting heads all game long, which is obviously not what I'm doing. I have to be kind of calm, cool, composed. But that's kind of what I like about it, is the fact that it's unexpected. It's not what is the norm. we're kind of going outside of the box here, and it's something that I wanted to do 2 years ago, or started 2 years ago, and really just kind of a rallying cry. Something that was special to our team and just for our team, and everybody else was going to want to know, what are you saying in that pregame breakdown? Because it gets me all jacked up. But what are you saying? And what I just look at him and say, if only our team knows. If you're a member of our team, but everybody else, it's kind of this us against the world mentality that once you're in that huddle, that you're a part of a brotherhood. And now we're going to go out there on the field and we have to play together. We got to trust each other, and we're going to win together.
Does that mean you're not going to tell me?
I can't. I'm sorry.
You go crazy doing that who dat stuff, though, too. Don't you carry on like that? And what is that when you jump around and carry on and do the who dat stuff?
The who dat, that's really kind of a fan. That's our chant, from the fans, and it's who dat.
But you do it sometimes too out on the field, don't you?
Well, we get it. We do it just to kind of get the fans hyped up. So it's who dat say they're gonna beat them Saints. And it's been around here forever. And when we first got to town, it's kind of like, what are they saying? Yeah. What's this who dat?
Like, are they not enunciating? What's going on? You can't really pick up on it unless you know. So you're kind of like trying to get.
Did you say no? It's who's that?
You're like, how do I teach my kids that this is what they're supposed to say when grammar tells you?
And I think it just kind of goes back to the culture of the city and just kind of the blend. It's like a melting pot. And so I think it kind of goes back to Cajun / just this Southern kind of, variation of, who dat.
And everywhere you go, you hear it.
Yeah.
As we saw earlier.
It's almost like you could be anywhere in the world and somebody yells who dat, and everybody from Louisiana is going to, turn around, and it's, okay, I gotcha.
Brittany, Drew is so worshipped in this town that people, I understand, even wear T-shirts that say Breezus. How do you keep him from thinking he walks on water?
It's not hard to do. I mean, it's when Drew comes in after a long day, he comes home and he's a dad and he's a husband and he takes out the trash.
Okay, I'm going to throw up. Is there anything wrong with you?
Yeah.
He
doesn't really
has
do
to
it.
put up with a lot.
Yeah. No, but it's funny. I mean, even being a parent, I remember, you have no sleep and you're getting up in the middle of the night with a baby, and I couldn't even complain. I mean, he was up before I was. He was up before the baby was, and then he was going to sleep before we did. After we did. So it was like point where I'm like, aren't you tired? I can't believe you're doing this. I mean, it's unbelievable, the work ethic. And it's something that I hope, the city of New Orleans, I know that they see it, but it's something that I hope our children see. That's something I would love for our children to have. That just, like you said, to lead by example. This is who he is, and this is how he lives his life. And, he is accountable for his actions, and you need to be accountable for your actions. And, this is integrity. This is what it means, and this is, why you have to do things. And I mean, he's a great guy. What you see is what you get.
A lot of women watching this are going to look at their husband and be like, are you kidding me? You must have some faults, though. Give me a few, even one.
Well, I don't always take off my shoes when I come in the house. And, we try to keep the house clean because Balin's crawling around everywhere, and so I do that. I've accidentally left the dog downstairs a few times and locked the door upstairs, so I've locked the dog out of the room.
He has an uncanny ability. He can really kind of compartmentalize things, which is wonderful. In his life, it's just such a gift. But he can also do that with myself when we're sitting there watching TV or doing something and I'm talking to him for about 15 minutes, and then I realize that he hasn't heard anything that I've said.
I was kind of off.
He's a typical husband, yeah.
Thinking about,
I'm like, what are you thinking about? Football.
You played football with the president. How was that?
That was a blast, and actually was very impressed. He's very athletic, and unfortunately he's a Chicago Bears fan, but we got past that. But I got to go to the White House and film NFL Play 60 PSA with a couple other NFL players, Troy Polamalu and DeMarcus Ware, and so I got to throw him a couple passes as he was running routes against Troy Polamalu, and it was really great to be able to spend some time with him and kind of his knowledge of the NFL and just professional sports in general, he's definitely a fan.
That must have been fun. And he said on national television he was rooting for the Saints and was very impressed by what you had done for New Orleans.
Well, I mean, that's an honor that he obviously is paying attention to what's happening down here and just understanding, the bond that our team has with our fans and with this city, and knowing that, each and every win, each and every victory does that much more for the city. And it's glad to know that he's rooting for us. Hopefully that'll carry us through.
Peyton Manning must not have been too happy about that.
Well, I guess you can't make everybody happy, huh?
You're good friends with the Mannings, so, right? Peyton's
Yeah.
dad, Archie, was a quarterback for the Saints.
Yes.
Lives
legendary.
not too far from you.
Yes. He, as soon as when Brittany and I first moved to town, it was, hey Archie, where's the best place to get a haircut? Or what's a nice restaurant to take Brittany to? Or, I really leaned on him for a lot of things, just as I was trying to kind of get my feet under me and get accustomed to everything here in New Orleans, because definitely a different, pace of life and lifestyle and everything else. But the entire Manning family has been great to us down here.
We still lean on them. I mean, they're amazing ambassadors to the city. I mean, they've done so much. I mean, if anything, they're role models to us. I mean, everything that they've done and everything that he means to the city. I mean, he was here, when the team wasn't doing well, and he was, doing so much, and they stayed here, and they've raised their children here. And anytime we have a question, I mean, we're great friends with Peyton's older brother, Cooper, and Ellen, and I mean, they're great people. It's a great family, so.
Does that make it hard to go against Peyton?
Well, what's funny is, Archie will send me texts a lot just before games, wishing me luck and that kind of thing. And there was one time where we were about to play Eli, and he shot me a text that said, "You're on your own this week, buddy." Just joking around. And he even sent me a text a few days ago, prior to the game, obviously, and said, if you were playing anybody else, I'd be all over this, who dat, extravaganza, festivities, everything else. He said, unfortunately, you have to be playing the Colts. So I know that his, obviously, heart is, with the Saints, having played here so many years, but, blood's thicker than water, so.
Must be hard for him in a way,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Feeling
yeah.
very divided, but ultimately, obviously, supporting his son.
Yeah.
I know that you've traveled and done things with the USO and went to various places, visited Guantanamo, etc. You obviously have opinions about the world. Do you think you'd ever run for office? Have you ever been asked?
I have been asked, and I could definitely say it interests me. It's a long way off, because I hope to be able to play football for a while longer, and then relax for a little bit. And
But
just
one
be a
day?
dad, but one day maybe.
He's way too honest.
I leave it all open. I'll never close the door. I'll leave it open.
And which is it, do you think? Did you help save New Orleans, or do you think New Orleans helped save you?
I'm going to say New Orleans helped save me, really. At that point in my career and in my life, and early in our marriage, where you're just trying to establish yourself, and so many unknowns, and it's a scary feeling, especially at that time with my injury and so many doubts. Hey, am I ever going to play football again? I mean, this is the game that I've played and loved for so long, and it might be taken away from me here. And I think what it did was it really gave me perspective, and it made me appreciate, the opportunities that I was given in the past, and the opportunity that I was given here to be a member of this team and a member of this community. It was something special, and it was destiny.
So many hopes and dreams that as we've talked about, attached to this Super Bowl, visit and this being in the Super Bowl. But what if the Saints don't win? I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but that is a possibility. And I feel like the whole city is so invested in winning the Super Bowl.
Well, I feel like we have fate and destiny on our side, and we have the strength of not only a city and a community, but I feel like an entire country. That there's a piece of everybody that wants to see us win the Super Bowl. And I can promise you, there is no other city or community or people that deserve it more than New Orleans.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Drew Brees and his wife, Brittany. I thought they were really amazing people, so I had a lot of fun talking with them. And now stay tuned for a message from our sponsor, Dove.